on videos that are liked, subscribed, comment. Like and comment is the biggest thing you can do. And then if you've seen 2 or 3 of these videos and you're like, I want to see some more of this stuff, subscribe. And if you're like, not really digging it, hit that unsubscribe. It's not about, the subscribe count. I want to make sure that we're creating value here for people, and guard your time. If I'm not putting out something that's very valuable for you, do not give me your time. You only have so much of it. I don't need it. So go somewhere else and pick what media you consume. Unsubscribe from things. Make sure that what you take into your head is good. So I'm in Home Depot. I love Home Depot. I just found this out recently, within the last year. Women prefer Lowe's. Men, wrong aisle, prefer Home Depot. Men prefer Home Depot. Women prefer Lowe's. Ask the people in your life. You'll find those results to be pretty accurate. I love Home Depot. And I'm here to, use the restroom, because I definitely need to find it and use it. I know where it is. It's just why do we have doors? We got doors here. I really got to pee right now. I'm not going to lie. But please don't have this aisle blocked. They got this aisle blocked. Okay. All right. So it's getting pretty serious. This is getting pretty gnarly. So I'm here to get some avocado trees. At least one more. I'm starting to run out of space for my mother plants, because I've got to splice off of these mother plants onto my rootstock. So my wife and I figured out how to become pretty successful at growing rootstock, meaning we make guacamole. And why are they changing the aisles on me? And so we make guacamole, and we take the seed, and we've actually figured out how to sprout it, and we stopped doing the cup and water method. We just went right to dirt, put it in a nice shady spot, kept it moist. Boom, it's happening. So that seems to be working out pretty well. And now we've got rootstock happening. I have found that once they get to 1 gallon, if you don't keep them wet enough, or you keep them too wet, they die on you. So I'm trying to figure that out next. 1 gallon, 3 gallon material. But my next step is to take different brands. We have Super Haas avocado, grows well down here. My friend's having success with it. There's several other different brands that I want to get. I have 2 right now. I want to get 3 or 4, so I can clip off of them and then splice onto my rootstock and essentially graft the tree. I never learned how to graft. I should have in high school. It should have been part of basic education, but it wasn't. Turns out, like apples, avocados are one of those things where it takes 7 or 10 years for it to fruit, and there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that you'll like the fruit. It'll be something you'll be oh wow, this is fabulous. So when they find a variety that is really good, they just take it, splice it, graft it onto a new one. So what you do is you take a Super Haas and you make 20 Super Haases, and then you take 20 Super Haases and you make 200 Super Haases. And avocados, being that they're difficult to one graft, grow, not kill, takes 7 to 10 years to get fruit. They're expensive. They're $1 a fruit. They come mainly from out of this country. I think that when we lose the reserve currency status, I think that avocados are going to skyrocket in price. So locally, it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be $5 fruit, maybe even $10 fruit. Who knows? But I want to produce as much of this as I can. 1, because no matter what happens to this country, I want to have guacamole. I want to maintain a standard of living, whether we have crazy deflation, if we have crazy deflation, or we have hyperinflation, or just 1970s inflation. I want to make sure that I can maintain a level of I got guac. I got guac. You know what I mean? The whole world could be burning, but it's yeah, I got guac. You know what I mean? I'm good. And it's probably funny, but it's once you've got your house handled, you got your shelter handled, you got your business operations handled, you got your family situation handled, you've got your savings, you've got your food supply. I want to have some guac, I do. And I think other people are going to want to have some guac. And if I can trade it with people, if I can sell it, if I can do it, yes, if we're reading through the lines, I'm preparing for the depression. I really genuinely think there is going to be a depression. I don't know if it's going to be hyperinflation depression. I don't know if it's going to be a deflation depression. I like the dollar whippet theory by the ninja and myself. I like the whippet theory. I like it a lot. I just genuinely believe in that. I've always thought that was kind of how it did. Harry Dent is a good source to look at on that. The Ninja has put out a video to my knowledge on that. I think that's my mental model. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? But either way, I've got to use the restroom. I'll be back. One thing I find super hilarious is that hilarious because I'm trying to see the positive in this. We've essentially taken, it's gonna sound so bad, like no matter how I frame this, it sounds terrible. But we've taken our working class, let's be real, we've taken our peasant class and we've officially made them peasants with the mask thing. Like as I walk through this place, and we're in Florida, we're in a Home Depot. I don't know much about Home Depot corporate. I know that their stock returns have been fabulous for like since they've been around. I want to say they're over 20. I want to say they're 28%. But that would be come from a.
Have a good one, man. Don't forget Jesus.
Got Jesus, man. Got Jesus. So I want to say they're 28% returns, but I'm not 100% on that. But I think they are. But we've taken our working class, we've turned them into an official peasant class. Like we have an official peasant class in North America, and you can identify them because they wear masks. That's a fact. 100% free men don't wear masks. 100%. Also, if we want to be historical about this, sorry about the cart, but that was my original cart. It's got a bad wheel. If we wanted to be, I feel bad for this homie with the mask, you know, like it's messed up. We shouldn't be doing this. But they're not revolting because they're peasants. It's what it is. Peasants and slaves have one thing in common. They don't revolt. They do what they're told. And because of that, they consistently, on a daily basis, give up their power to those that are above them. They give up their power to authority. It's a choice every day. But they choose to make that choice every day because they think like peasants. Let's go get some avocados. In a way, I'm kind of looking forward to the whole peasant thing because we're going back to monarchy. That's obvious. And so I'm liking like the idea of like monarchy. Now my buddies are like, that's only because you think you're gonna be on the right side of this. I'm like, I am on the right side of this 100%. Like just my silver and gold holdings alone are like, you know, not quite king status, but like they're, you know, noblemen, gentlemen for sure. But also like everybody else is chasing other things, like not fully accepting like where we're going. Like the fact is like in America, we're gonna have to produce more than we can consume. That is a fact. We have consumed more than we produced for 50 years. The pendulum is gonna swing. And so I don't know if it'll be 10 years. I don't know if it'll be 50 years. I don't know how long we'll have to absolutely produce more than we consume. But we're gonna have to do it for a while. Let's put it that way. And I just don't think people are ready for it. Look at these beautiful avocados right here. Nobody's onto my trick yet. Like there's still 4 beautiful like they're still here. You know, nobody knows. Wow, there's more. I'm gonna have to call my buddy Jared right now and be like, yo, do we like the Lila avocado? They got all these different brands, you know. It's like which ones are the best? You don't know, but Marcus Pumpkin. I love the name. Marcus Pumpkin. Let me flip the Marcus Pumpkin, yes. Or the Lila. I'm about to hit up Jared and be like, yo man, what do you think, bro? We got that one. We've got a few. We've got a few here. We've got, okay, another Lila. So they're all grafted. And like what I mean by that is like that's the original root stock. That's the one was tough to see. Let's find a better one. Better example. All right, that one's clear, right? You can see the original root stock right here. And then you can see where they grafted onto it. There's a cut at some point. And maybe that was a graft right there that didn't take. So they cut that off. Or they cut that off and made this graft. Who knows?
The star fruit varieties, it doesn't matter. They're just going to taste different. But
yep.
They'll typically all bloom at the same time. That's why you'll see star fruit in the store. That's like $1.50 or $2 a fruit during pushes. And then during other times of the year, it'll be like $5 for a single fruit.
Whoa, yeah. No, I got to get some star fruit going. I have 0 star fruit, but I also haven't found any at my way either yet.
It's probably my favorite.
I love star fruit. Yeah, my whole family is not a fan, so I need like the best brand of star fruit when I get one. And I love star fruit, honestly. I love the way it cuts, you know.
I have Bell. Look for Bell.
Okay.
Carry,
Bell.
And then Wang Tongue. Those are the 3 varieties I have.
Okay. Cool. That's I'm gonna definitely pick those up. If you could text me those links.
Air graft them for you.
Oh, yeah, you can air graft them. That's even cooler, dude. I can wait.
They're not big enough yet to air graft.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a year if you can't find anything by then.
Well, actually, I'll probably, I'm a little impatient on them. Like, if you could text me the names of those, that'd be baller.
Yeah.
Okay. But either way, they have this tree, and this tree now is selling for $86, 15-gallon avocado. Maybe it'll produce, I don't know, this may be 3 years. Maybe it'll produce in a couple years. Let's say it produces in 3 years, just best case scenario. Worst case, produces in 4. There's no way it'll produce longer than that, I think. So it's $86. What you would do is you would take this and you would graft onto a new rootstock, and then in 2 years you would have an $86 plant. So like once you have avocados, you're making guacamole, you graft onto this thing, boom, you have avocado, you got guacamole. In a time when avocados are currently $1 a piece, but you know they're gonna go to $5. Like, you know it. Like, it's like when we can no longer import more than we export, things like avocados are going to be low on the list. Like, hey, what are we importing? We're importing steel, energy. We were energy independent, but we said, screw that. What else do we want to import? Technical labor, like all those other things. Like, do we have any engineers? Nope, we're going to import those. Like, and then it's like, well, what do we export? And it's like, whatever we can. And avocados being an import for the next 7 to 10 years because they come from areas that are not here. Like, it's going to take at least 7 or 10 years from the time a few people throw down on some avocados, like throw down like thousands of acres of avocados. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So I think it'll be 15 to 20 years from now when America has the luxury of guac like we do now. Like, you go out to a restaurant, I heard Tropical MBA say this. I've followed these guys for years. My backpacking and entrepreneurship and I just love these guys. Dan and Ian. And they were like, Ian said, so Dan asked Ian, what's changed in your life since we sold our company and we're officially, definitely millionaires? It's so weird that we put our peasant class in masks. Like, officially pretty well off. The only thing that has changed in my lifestyle is I always order avocado. Like, I always order the guac. That's what he said in his podcast. I always order guac. And it's like, that's actually a very valid point, because you're out at a restaurant and you're like, do I want to spend the extra couple bucks for guac on the toast, for guac on the salad, for guac whatever? But you're like, yeah. So I think, personally, it's on the bottom end of the food chain as far as luxury good and like where we're going into. A lot of people right now think that we're moving into like the roaring 20s. We probably are in the roaring 20s right now. But like, they think that like things are just going to continue like they were, like from the 80s to the 90s to the 2010s. Like, it'll just be like that. And they don't understand that we're actually really approaching like the 1930s. We're probably in them right now, looking back at history. I'm probably in there. We just haven't had our crash yet. But we did have our crash, but then they pumped it up. So we're in that inflation part of the crash. We're in a weird period of history. And if they keep messing with the economy, if they don't allow markets to work the way that they naturally do, it's called spontaneous order for a reason. If they don't allow that to occur, it will take that much longer. And your flying cars and your air travel and all that stuff, it's just not coming back until, one, the currency fails and we go back to a gold or hard money standard. And so that the incentives are aligned correctly. And so at the moment, the incentives are completely off. Apologize for the cart noise, my bad. More peasant class coming through with the mask. It's sad. It's freaking sad. If you're one of these guys, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, stand up. Freaking stand up. Like, no, we're not wearing masks. Oh, you lose your job. Okay, figure it the fuck out. Like, find something you can flip. You can go on Amazon, figure out what things are going. Go into Walmart, figure out arbitrage. Like, you can do this. You can go to Old Navy or whoever's running a sale, figure out what the difference is on eBay and like flip into that. Like, you can do this. Like, you can do this. Like, you don't just stand up for yourself. If all of you stood up for yourselves, you wouldn't have this bullshit. But because this is happening, it's like the Hawthorne studies. Hawthorne studies? They did out in California. I'll talk about Hawthorne studies on a whole other thing. If you want to comment below, you know about them. Long story short, they played like cops and robbers, basically, like jailed people and prison guards. And the college study got so bad that they had to cancel the study early. Like, Human psychology cannot handle dominance over another human. The natural state of humanity is anarchical capitalism. That is the true state of humanity. We'll never have it because some assholes always corral and monopolize the guns. Like, as long as they monopolize the use of force, that's always going to occur. However, free men were required in the 1800s to carry a firearm. Like, required, it was expected of you. And it was also expected of you that you would pay in like silver, gold, or copper. Like, people just maintain like a level of nobility that we don't maintain today. But we're returning back to it. We're returning back to a peasant class and a noble and king class. And I want you guys to be in the noble class, because the more nobles that are in my group, the more likely like we're gonna go farther. Like, we can't control what's going on in the world. We can just control what's going on here. So anyway, I've got the Barbados cherry. Put this guy up. I feel bad for him. Mine's doing the same thing, but I just staked him. All right, I'm gonna pick one of these avocados. Oh, poor guy. I gotta call my boy Jared right now and be like, yo man, what type of avocado should I add to the fleet right now? Because I just want to be early on this avocado game. Loquats, I'm good. I'm just getting those from my boy Tom. Actually, I need to go over there and cut them. But anyway, I'm gonna roll. Thanks for following. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. It does so much for the channel. It's a major difference. This content is not like your gig. Dude, hit that unsubscribe. But if you're like, yeah, I like this stuff, and you want to make sure that we stay connected, please hit that subscribe and like, comment, and let me know how I can do better. Thanks, guys.